This is the Donut SMP. It is a survival-based server featuring a unique economy system unlike any other server out there. In order to be successful on Donut, you must make lots of money. However, most players starting out don't know how to do this quickly in order to become one of the richest on the server. So in this video, I will be covering 10 of the best money-making methods on the Donut SMP, and make sure to stick around until the end of the video because I will be covering some of the best and most efficient methods then. Starting at number 10, we have AFKing for shards. Shards can be used to buy items such as spawners and crate keys off of shop. These things can then be used to sell to other players for money, or used in bases for resources like bones for skellies, or meat in spawners like cow and pig. This method is really slow though and involves many hours of AFKing just to get one spawner, so that is why it is in 10th on the list. Next up at number 9, we have age house flipping. This method is a great beginner-friendly option for people who are broke or just need a quick way for getting some cash. This method is so good for beginners because you don't need anything to do it. All you have to do is find a cheap item on AH, for example this piece of sandstone, then you check how much other people are selling it for, which right now no one is, so that means I can sell it for as much as I want. So I'll sell this piece for 5k and hope that someone buys it. I can also repeat this process for other more popular items like redstone, which right here is a stack for 17 for only 2.5k. I can then check how much 16 pieces of redstone is going for and sell it for around that price. Alright, so it is about 10k for 16, so that means that I can sell this stack for just under at 9k, so someone will buy it faster. Coming in at 8th on the list is AFKing skellies for bones. To do this method, all you need to do is have some spawners. Then just make yourself a little base like this and place them down. If you wait for long enough, you can then get lots and lots of bones, which can be sold to orders for around $52 each. So I'm just going to wait for a second and then sell the bones to orders. Alright, so I waited for only like a minute or so, but if you do this with hundreds or even thousands of spawners, you can make millions of dollars an hour. At number 7 on the list, we have selling trees to orders. This method is a very quick and easy way of making hundreds of thousands of dollars in just minutes. It's so good for people who just joined the server because all you need is an axe and a forest, then you just run around chopping trees. Okay, so I just finished chopping down logs, and now I'm going to put them on orders and see how much I get. Alright, for a stack of logs, we got almost 10.5k. That's insanely good for how little time I spent chopping down trees. Our next method involves selling sand to orders or on AH. All you need to do this is an efficiency 4 shovel and a bunch of sand or gravel. Then you just start digging, and once you fill up your inventory, either put it all in shulker boxes or just sell it on AH or to people ordering it. Alright, so after I mined for a little bit, this is how much sand I got. Now I'm just going to sell it to AH and see how much we can get. So right now, it looks like red sand is selling for 15k each on the auction house. So I'm just going to sell it for right under that at like 14k. Okay, so I just filled up my auction house with red sand. So now I'm just going to put the rest on orders. Coming in at number 6, we have crafting items to sell to rich players. This method can make a ton of profit because so many wealthy players are too lazy to make things themselves. This makes it really easy to buy the raw resources for an item, craft them into the thing, and then sell to other players on AH. In this example, I'm going to be crafting iron into buckets of water and then selling it. Right here we can see 1 bucket of water is about 5k. That's really good for us because the price is so high. Now I'm just going to buy some iron from AH. And right now it's going for about 30k. And then I'm going to craft it into buckets. Now I just walk up to the water and start spam clicking to fill up the buckets. Next, I'll just sell them for 4k each on AH. Next up, we have mining for ores. This method is great for all people because depending on the cave you are in, it can make you tons of money from finding valuable ores like gold, diamonds, and emeralds. Diamonds are particularly good because many people buy them to craft into other items like armor and tools, which they then enchant and sell back to AH for profit. Alright, so I just RTP'd and dug into a cave, and now I'm going to start mining ores for as long as possible and see how much I can get. Okay, so I just mined for about 30 minutes, and this is how many ores I got. This was also in a lush cave that was pretty high in Y level, so if you found a cave that was larger and lower to bedrock, you definitely would have found more ores and diamonds. Anyways, now I'm going to sell all of these ores to AH and see how much I get. Moving into the top 3, we have Netherite mining, and I know what a lot of you are probably thinking right now. Netherite mining is so outdated because all of it has already been mined, and you can't find nearly enough to make it a top 3 spot for money making methods. However, it is much better than people may realize. So right now, I'm going to start mining for a little bit and see how much Netherite I can find to prove this is a good method. Alright, so I just finished mining for ancient debris, and after only like 20 to 30 minutes of mining, I got 2 pieces. This is really good because each piece will sell for around 800k a piece. So now I'm just going to smelt it down into scraps and sell it on AH. Coming in at the number 2 spot, we have duels. Duels are a great way to make lots of money fast. However, it is risky because it is 100% skill based. This means that the better you are, the more money you will make off of other people's PvP kits and armor. This also means that you are taking the chance that the other person could win and take all your loot as well. So right now, I'm just going to queue into a duel and see what happens. Okay, so I just won the duel, and this guy had some stacked loot. He had a maxed out mace, max full neth, and e-gaps. So this is definitely a good money making method if you are good at crystal PvP. Now, for the final method of the video, it is farms. This strategy is number 1 because it makes the most money and makes it consistently. All you need to do is make yourself a farm like this fungus one I have here, and then make it as big or small as you want, depending on how much you want to make and how much time and money you are willing to spend on it. Then you just load bones in from orders or spawners and AFK. So I just finished AFKing for only about 10 minutes, and let's see how much we got. So after only 10 minutes of being AFK while the farm ran, we made almost $500,000. That is about $3 million an hour and $72 million a day. This is insanely good, but it only gets better as the farm gets bigger. So if you had more modules of fungus farms, you would be able to make way more and potentially be even the richest on the server.